Whereabouts in Middleboro do you live, Chachi?
Rock Village.
Okay.
Familiar with that area?
Yep, I sure am, yep. We're right on 105, actually, a couple doors away from the 4-H fair, right there on 105.
Oh, yeah. I'm part of 4-H. We have been for years.
Yeah.
Steph and I.
Yeah.
And we always, we work at that fair, and Labor Day weekend, we're on the advisory council. We had a chicken club at one point.
Okay, right, yeah.
For kids, so.
I remember they used to, I'm not even sure if they have it, but they used to have the mass, outdoor mass. They still got that?
You mean during the Labor Day fair, you mean?
Yeah, it was usually Sunday morning. They used to have. Yeah, yes. I think it was. They still got that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The buy one, get one free special going on now at My Pillow. My Pillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance My Pillows, the roll and go. Go anywhere My Pillows. And 6-piece towel sets on special. Go to mypillow.com/USA. Use promo code USA or call 1-800-951-8175 and find out all.
My nephew, he graduated from Mass Maritime yesterday. We had a little time for him. He did so good. You know?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with Mass Maritime. I had a very close friend who went to that school.
Yeah.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio.
Wouldn't work for me. I can't swim and I get seasick.
What's hell? Yeah, he's going on a tug. He's getting shipped out on the 6th. So he's 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
Wow.
I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for
Alright, here's the open here. Red light up. Mm-hmm. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. It is the 19th of June, 2022. It is Juneteenth, and it is also Father's Day. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there this morning.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome, Don.
Dad.
Well, yes, you are my dad.
So,
the reason why I call him Don on the radio, if I haven't explained this already, is because I just don't want to call him Dad on the radio.
Well, you call me Dad. Well, you're the boss.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't want to call him Dad on the radio.
You're my boss for 1 hour.
Your name is Don, not Dad. So that's why people who do know that Don is my dad, that's why I call him just Don on the radio.
That's more professional.
It is more professional,
I think
yes.
so, you know?
All right.
You slip sometimes.
I do. I have a couple of times. We have a special guest today. Chachi LaPrette will be with us in just a second. And before that, we are going to do the weather, a quick weather report, and a quick sports report, and then we're going to go right to Chachi. Right now in Taunton, outside of our Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios, at 14 Church Green, it is 52 degrees with some rain in the forecast. 65 degrees today. Not sure if it's going to rain all day or not, but it's raining now, off and on. So it's going to be 65 today, 46 tonight. So it'll be cold tonight. It'll also be cold tomorrow night as well. 78 for the high tomorrow, with a low of 47. And that's in Taunton. In Middleboro, 52 degrees, rain in the forecast. Pretty much the same weather, except it'll be a little bit colder tonight. 44 degrees tonight, and 45 tomorrow night. So a little bit colder in Middleboro. Driscoll, Texas, 97 degrees today for the high. Currently it's 75. 98 tomorrow. And by the end of this upcoming week, Driscoll, Texas will see triple-digit weather. I know it's been abnormally hot in Texas, and in that area for the past couple of weeks. There's been some heat, a lot of heat over there, a lot of abnormal for this time of year kind of heat, and that looks like that will continue throughout the week and through next weekend. In Driscoll, North Dakota, it is 76 degrees. I'm going to say that again. 76 degrees at 5 a.m. in the morning in Driscoll, North Dakota. Or 6 a.m. in the morning in Driscoll, North Dakota. So it is very, very hot for a morning in Driscoll, North Dakota.
I think it's 5 over there right now.
Oh, it's 5?
I believe
well,
so.
it says Sunday, 6 a.m.
Does it?
But
I don't think it's. It might be Sunday.
maybe it's 5.
Yeah, whatever.
It's either 5 or 6.
Yep.
But, yes, 76 degrees. So it's warm. Really warm. It'll be warm tonight, 70 degrees. It's 98 today. Very warm today.
For that place, huh? Wow.
Very warm for Driscoll, North Dakota.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Quick sports. Taunton will be celebrating 2 state titles. They won yesterday the Division I state championship for baseball, and the other day Taunton softball won a state title as well in Division I. So congratulations to Taunton. I want to congratulate Middleboro for a great season. They did fall short against Greater New Bedford. I want to congratulate Greater New Bedford for winning the Division III state title as well for that softball game.
I also want to congratulate Mass Maritime graduates of 2022. My nephew, Jay Driscoll, is a graduate. We had a time for him last night. I'm so proud of him. I love him, and all his friends who came down and visited him, and all the classmates, and they were remarkable students, great kids, and they got to do well in life. I feel, I'm just looking at these kids who are graduating, and I feel hopeful for the future. I really do. These kids are just bright, they're smart, they're kind, and it's just wonderful to see them. So congratulations to Mass Maritime. They had their graduation yesterday, and his most proudest moments when he rung the bell for the Coast Guard thing about 2.5 weeks ago. He's like, I think I made it.
And one last thing before we get to Chachi, I want to remind everybody, people on the roads, that this Friday is the last day of school. So that would mean a lot of kids are out on walking around. So definitely be careful on Friday, the last day of school. Again, there'll be a lot of kids walking around after that. After the day gets out, it is an early release day.
Yeah, right.
So
11, 12, right.
definitely be careful on the roads as well. All right, it is 7:12 a.m. We're going to say good morning to our guest, Chachi LaPrette. Good morning, Chachi. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Joey, Don, it's a pleasure to be here again with you. It was on this cold, drizzly Sunday morning, and it's a pleasure to join you.
Guys, thank you for calling, getting up at 7 a.m. And I know you have to, after the interview, you got to buzz off and do your own show. So that's exciting that you're calling us so early.
Well, it's a pleasure, Don. It's available to get up earlier. So I went up anyway. I've already been up to Dunkin' to get my coffee, and it's a pleasure to join you and chat for the rest of your show. And I enjoyed the last time I joined you on the show, and hopefully I'll be on again in the future. So thank you for your hospitality.
It's great that you just. I know you met, we talked about this before. You met Joey about 4 years ago, and he gave us both Breakfast with the Beatles shirts, and it was so nice of you. And you were judging a pie eating contest at the 4-H fair, and I know you're part of the 4-H fair. So we'll start out about what you do with the 4-H fair in Middleboro in general. So maybe start in Middleboro talk at the beginning and work out with the Beatles.
Yes.
Sure, of course. I moved to Middleboro in the year 2000. I was born in Boston, raised in Cambridge, lived in the city until about the year 2000. And I found a cool little piece of property in the Rock Village area of Middleboro with my beautiful bride Stephanie. And we have pet chickens and we have our cats and we love the wildlife that comes to our property, and we feed them all. We try to save stray cats as much as we can. We've saved a lot of them, and we continue to do that. And we are total advocates for animal rights. And as I sit here, 3 of my cats are pacing around me. And so we love our animals. And, you know, Stephanie was in 4-H as a teenager, and she had horses growing up, and so she was totally in 4-H, and she, you know, brought me into it when we came out here and developed friendships with people in 4-H, and for a while, a long time, we were running a chicken club for kids, because we have pet chickens. It's called Foul Play. It's still happening. They have different leaders now. But we ran the club with Joe and Jackie Freitas for a long time. And we taught kids, you know, about the care and feeding of chickens, and that these are living things. And, you know, our chickens are very unique, and they have feelings, and they go through each day, you know, they have their routines. And so we try to teach kids that chickens are more than just, you know, wrapped up in the meat counter at the store, and that these are living things, and to care for them, treat them kindly, and raise them. Our chickens are over 10 years old, because we take care of them very, very well. So we participated in our Foul Play Club for years. We're on the Middleboro 4-H Council, and we meet monthly, and we're involved in the fair. And as you said, we met at the Blueberry Pie Eating Contest, which I think be my favorite pie. And so, yes, I recall meeting you guys and giving you shirts, and we're also on the 4-H Plymouth Advisory Council. So we do a lot of 4-H stuff through the years, and we love working with kids and their animals and teaching them how to respect animals. And I love living out here in Middleboro, excuse me, and, you know, we enjoy it out here, although I go into Boston all the time. I was in Arlington last night, where I hosted a big event celebrating Paul McCartney's 80th birthday with a band called the Ultrasonic Rock Orchestra. And they did a huge show last night honoring Paul's 80th birthday, which was yesterday. And so, you know, despite living 50 miles out of Boston, I'm in Boston all the time, working on different projects and events, and so that's my story in a nutshell. And we continue to live in Middleboro, and we enjoy it out here, and that's why I love calling into the show. And it's great to be with both of you. So there you go.
All right, that's the Middleboro thing. Yeah, I work in Quincy in the winter too, so I mean I've been doing that commute for 20 years now. You get used to it, but I mean when you come home to God's country, it's really nice. It's because I consider this area God's country in my opinion. I grew up in Quincy, so I'm a city guy too. So I grew up in Quincy.
You live in the city and you don't see the stars at night, and you know, everyone's crammed on these streets with the houses close to each other. And I found it to be such a relaxing thing to just drive out of Boston and come out here and sit outside at night under the stars, and like I said, the wildlife, and the people are very nice out here too. We have great neighbors, and you know, that's the greatest thing. If you have great neighbors, then you know, it makes life easier, and everyone helps each other, and so I enjoy living out here.
Yeah, Joey's schooling over the years was great. He had the best teacher. His principal in the high school, Principal Brannigan, he was awesome. They couldn't do enough for Joey, and it was just like, I don't know. It's just he went through TV production, and you know, Mr. Pelletier, he did so much for Joey, and he started with Matt Cam, and that's when he met. He was working for Matt Cam when he met you a few years ago. Karen Foy took him under his wing. Other people, John Healy. He sat down and helped John Healy when he was 15 years old. Work the board on the. So I mean, everyone. It's just you walk up to somebody and it's so easy for someone to know you can't. No kid. They all said yes. They all gave him a chance. They all okay. You can sit with me, kid, and you can work. You can work the sound on the board of selectmen meetings, and then he became a volunteer, a paid volunteer for. And he's filmed the concerts on the lawn at Town Hall, and he's done stuff at Soul Homestead and everything like that.
It's important. So we will see. This is John knows. I mean, to this day, I was born in 1967, and I went to high school in Cambridge at Ridge Tech. And even elementary school, I still have vivid memories of the teachers who took me under their wing. That I attribute a lot of my success to. Mr. Hallis, Mr. Pastorella, I mean, these people you carry that with you for the rest of your life, and you carry those lessons with you, and hopefully you have success from it. As, Joey, listen, you have your own show with your dad. I mean, that's fantastic. And so, teachers help you. It stays with you for life.
Yeah.
And, all my teachers, so most of them have passed on at this point, but I made sure to reach out to them during their life and to tell them how much I was appreciative of what they did for me. So it's important. And my wife, her dad is a retired professor from Boston College. Her mom worked in theology at Boston College. So that side of the family is a learned family, and they taught many kids who moved on and reach out to them to this day, in gratitude for what they've done for them. So it's important. Teachers should get paid more, but their work is so important. And so that's good for you, Joey, that you found teachers that really helped you. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of teachers who have just been fantastic over my 12 years or so in schooling. My first question here at Don, this is also going to be a Middleboro question as well. Other than the 4-H fair, what are some of your other favorite events to go to in Middleboro?
Not much has happened. I really don't have much of an answer there, except crazy days when they do that. But like I said, I enjoy living in Middleboro. They should have more events, and I should go to more events. But I do a lot of things in Boston, and even we had a show in Rhode Island this past Friday night. We had a show in Connecticut a week ago Friday. I like to bring some of my events to Middleboro. I like the businesses there. I love the restaurants. But with COVID, I think a lot of stuff slowed down. But I do love the Middleboro 4-H fair, which hasn't happened in 2 years. And we always work, the breakfast restaurant there, and then we work the burger tent, and so. I think we should, hopefully, if things start picking up again, like you said, COVID restrictions are finally loosening up. So hopefully there'll be more events in the future.
Don?
Okay. One more question. I think we got to take a break.
Yeah, one more question.
Okay. Beatles. I think I asked you last time. Okay, and that was for the Thursday's audience and the Sunday's audience. Do you have a favorite Beatles song? Can you narrow it down to one Beatles song? I know it's hard because they got so much.
Well, if you ask me right now what that song is, in 10 minutes it could very well change. There's so many, there's 214 Beatles songs alone, not counting the solo catalog. But there are. My favorite phase of the Beatles is the Beatlemania years from 63 to 66. I I Feel Fine is probably one of my all-time favorites. I'm Only Sleeping, a great John song about his favorite pastime. The guy loves to sleep, which is understandable because they were on tour and working all the time, every day for a number of years. But it changes all the time, fixing the hole, the list goes on, and there's so many great tracks, it's hard to pick your favorite. But I would say at this moment, I'd probably say I Feel Fine with the feedback of the guitar and the great drumming by Ringo. And I've talked to Ringo about the drumming on that track, and he distinctly remembers playing it. So that's my answer for this moment. Before the interview's over, ask me again, it might change.
A lot of people said, and not a lot of people, talking to my friends or whatnot, I like the heavier hard rock. I've been grew up with that. But there's been some songs that the Beatles, I think, influenced the hard rock scene. And I think there's two songs, Helter Skelter and Revolution, with those guitar solos. Now, the guitar solo on Helter Skelter, was that George or was that John playing?
If my memory serves me correctly, it was George. But that shows you the diversity of the Beatles. They were able to do all kinds of genres of music in their catalog. It's amazing. Paul wanted to really do something heavy like The Who, and he came up with Helter Skelter. And then John with Revolution, taking a political stance in the song. And when he recorded that song, he had a better time with his vocals lying down in the studio. He was lying on his back singing that track. But yeah, that shows you the diversity. They could do a little bit of country thing. They could do hard rock. They could do, ballads. I mean, they were just so diverse and so talented to be able to go from genre to genre. And when you listen to the White Album, it's filled with so many different directions. And it's just a great double record set.
Yeah, a lot of people say that the first heavy metal song was Steppenwolf, and I don't know. I really think it was those two Beatles songs. I really do. I'm going back, and I mean, those were 1969, 68, 69, right? When those came out, correct?
That's correct.
And
right, they called that an early, heavy rock guitar track.
right.
But yeah, they were able to really rock out when they wanted to, and that's a tribute to their talent. Four guys, Mick Jagger called them the four-headed monster because each were a distinct talent in their own right. But when you put them together, they were in fact the four-headed monster. They were huge,
Right.
And no one's been able to match them, and to this day. And here we are. Paul celebrated his 80th birthday yesterday. We just saw him at Fenway Park doing 2 shows back to back, over 30 songs, 2.5 hours plus. Straight performance, no intermission. The guy's 80 years old. I hope we can do that when we're 80.
Wow, no intermission. That's crazy. No one does that. I think the only band I've seen do that was when I saw Rush, when they did the 2112 thing. They had an intermission, but they had two different shows. They were on the stage for 3 hours. I remember that was back in the early 2000s, late 90s. I've never seen that before, ever. So that's unbelievable.
It was an extraordinary show. I've seen Paul many times over the years. First time I saw him solo was in '76 at the Boston Garden in America, and that's amongst the top 5 of my favorite shows. But this past show at the Fenway Park, truly extraordinary, emotional, riveting, exciting, and the love that came from the stage and came right back from the audience just drove Paul even further. And it was just so much fun to see him out on stage again. He was itching to play after being tucked away because of COVID for the last 2+ years. So, and it was great to see him. And then he wrapped up the first leg of the tour just the other night at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where Springsteen came out on stage and played with him, and John Bon Jovi came out and got the audience to sing happy birthday. And good for Paul. And Ringo is going to be 82 on July 7th. It's amazing. And Ringo, when he was a teenager, he was very missed a lot of school, and the doctors weren't sure he would even make it out of his teen years. And look at him today, 82 years old in July, so it's good for him.
I saw Paul McCartney once, and it was in Worcester at the Palladium. I believe it's the Palladium. It was a smaller. It was it the Strand or the Palladium? It was a real intimate thing. It was the loudest show I've ever seen in my life. And I've gone to shows. I've gone to see Sabbath. Scorpions, all that stuff. This was the loudest and heaviest rocking show. It was thunderous. I couldn't believe, and because I was always used to listen to the head, and I was like, well, I want to see Paul. I want to see Paul McCartney. Oh my God, his bass playing skills is incredible. He's right up there with the best bass players in the world, in my opinion. He's just unbelievable. It's just
Very talented bass player, and he can play so many instruments. And his dad was in the band. His dad he led the Jim Mack band, and actually his dad first gave him a trumpet. And Paul obviously moved to guitar and piano, but he can play virtually any instrument. He's truly a fascinating guy and talented guy, that's for sure.
he's done albums where he's done every instrument, right, Joey? You showed me that, right?
He's done 3 of those.
Yeah, like during the pandemic.
Yeah, he did one during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yes.
McCartney 3.
Yes. Right.
Yes, he plays all the instruments. He's done that many times. Talented guy.
Yeah. Joey?
All right, it is 7:30 a.m. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to do a quick Today in History, and then we're going to continue our interview with Chachi LaPrette. So we will be right back here on Middleboro in Review. Today is June 19th, 2022. We'll be right back, everybody. Add that up. There we go. Alright. Here we go. Good. Nose down. Make sure that's good to go. Alright.
Time you taking a second break, turn off.
Yeah, when we're done with the interview, yeah. Probably 10 of.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
we'll just do another segment.
I'm not sure. He might have to split early. He's got to get going.
Chachi, what time do you want to end the interview? 7:45 or so?
Whatever you're comfortable with, when you run out of questions, you can let me go.
We're never gonna be out of questions.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I wasn't sure if you had a jet early, to get up to New Hampshire by 10 o'clock. But he wheels up by 8 o'clock. You'd be good, right?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Great. No, we'll keep you right on.
Yeah.
Take you right to the end. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, right around 7:58 or so. I want to make sure we're off the air by 8 because we do sometimes go over a little.
Yeah. What time you take? You take your
by about like a minute.
7:50.
Yeah, 7:50. I just want to make sure we're off the air by 8 because.
Yeah, but you gotta take your ads.
Yeah, and I know at 7:50. Yeah,
right.
7:50.
Right.
That's fine.
I just gotta make sure that we're off the air by 8 because sometimes me and Dawn go over a little bit.
Go over a lot.
Well, no, it's not bad. Like 2 minutes. Sometimes.
We need a 2-hour show.
Yeah, it's to that point where we just need like a 2-hour show because we have so much information that we bring to people on a weekly basis. An hour sometimes is enough.
And you can hear us contentious conversation too as father and son sometimes. It spills all over the air. I think people got a little kick out of that, Just now, he says,
Yeah.
But he always turns my mic down though. He doesn't want to hear me. He's got that power. He's done it before. He just looks at you. He gives me this hand like, yeah. Yeah, I gotta be a little nice to me today.
Massachusetts offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for
Hey, Chachi. I think I told you last time. I'm not sure if you had a chance to check this song out. You ever heard of Glenn Hughes?
Glenn Hughes, no.
He was the bass player for Mark III Deep Purple. He did the Burn album. He did Stormbringer. If you know any of that Mark III Deep Purple stuff. And he's Black Country Communion. He's played with Joe Bonamassa. He's played with almost everybody. But he did a solo album in 2007 called Music of the Divine. And there's a song on there that's called This House. And it's so Beatle influenced. It's unbelievable. If you ever have a chance to check it out, it's on YouTube. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it touches me with Beatles. Just the 4-track and everything that they've done, because they got violin in there and stuff like that. I mean, he's definitely a guy to check out. We love him, and it's just the guy's unbelievable.
I just wrote it down, so I will check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, he's been in so many bands, and he's you know.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, and as I turn the music down here a little bit, here we go. We are back here on Middleboro in review. Today is the 19th of June, 2022, and before we continue with more of the interview with Chachi, I want to quickly do Today in History. So we have 2 Today in Histories today. 1865, over 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, slaves in Galveston, Texas, United States, are finally informed of their freedom. The anniversary was officially celebrated in Texas and other states as Juneteenth. And on June 17th, 2021, Juneteenth officially becomes a federal holiday in the United States. Our second Today in History, 1943, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL merge for one season due to player shortages caused by World War II. And that Today in History, we have a listener in Pennsylvania that loves the Steelers, so I wanted to do that history, Today in History for him. The Steagles, that's what their name was in the 1943 season.
The
Steagles, yes. The Steelers and Eagles.
For just 1 year?
For just 1 year because of World War II, yes. Birthdays today. Mo Howard, American comedian, 1/3 of the Three Stooges, born on this day in 1897. 1903, the famous American baseball player, famous New York Yankee, Lou Gehrig. 1978, Dirk Nowitzki, German basketball player, played for the Dallas Mavericks. And our deaths on this day, we tragically lost Anton Yelchin on this day in 2016, 6 years ago today, in a tragic accident. He was killed in a tragic accident. He was not exactly sure what character he played, but he played in Star Trek. Don, do you know?
Yeah, Chekhov. Yeah, and that reboot of Star Trek, a lot of people, the J.J. Abrams thing. First of all, I worship J.J. Abrams. Okay, first of all, I'm on the board. I love J.J. Abrams as far as anything he's done with Star Wars and Star Trek. Some people don't like it. I don't think Tony likes it. I mean, Tony's son Chris doesn't like it, so it's different. But they had a great cast of characters, and he was a good character.
And Anton Yelchin was one of them, yes, and he unfortunately was killed in a tragic accident 6 years ago today.
Yeah.
All right, it is 7:38 a.m., and let's continue the interview with Chachi. Don, you get the next question.
Breakfast with the Beatles, an institution for Boston for many years. My soundtrack, my living soundtrack on Sundays. You go out for breakfast with your friends, and it's always on. It was always on every Sunday. It was something that was part of the fabric, in my opinion. It was something that's part of my collective soul. So you putting that together, such a labor of love. you still have it going. Yeah, you gotta you're going on the live 10 o'clock on the air up in New Hampshire. So just tell me some of your passions about that. I know we talked about this before, but it's such a wonderful thing.
Thank you for the compliments. I'm a lucky guy to be able to curate a show about the Beatles. I've been on the air. I started in radio in '81, and my Beatles show has been on the air for over 25 years. And it is a passion. I'm blessed to be able to do it. We ran for a long time on WBCN, and then we ran for even longer on WCLX. And now the show is on Saturday mornings out of Boston on 91.9 FM WUMB, which is a fantastic station where I am given the chance to do whatever I would like to do within my 2 hours. I play all kinds of different Beatles tracks. And so I'm on Saturday morning, 6 to 8 a.m. on WUMB, and you can hear it anywhere in the world at WUMB.org. And then on Sundays, I am on in New Hampshire and Maine on Seacoast Oldies 92.1, 97.1 from 10 a.m. to noon. And I'll be on the air, obviously, today. And we have listeners all over the world. That's the beauty of radio today, Joey and Don. You don't have to be in your car. You don't have to try to tune it in on your little radio in your home. But you can stream it from anywhere in the world. And I'm happy to say I have listeners from all kinds of different places. Australia, we have a listener who tunes in from Lisbon all the time. We have dear listeners in Chile, and we have the local listeners. And our streaming numbers are through the roof because people are able to tune in from anywhere in the world. And what I try to do, I curate the show every week, playing alternate versions because we've heard these Beatles songs for so long. We know them so well. I try to play alternate versions to give you, the listener, a different, a different view of each song rather than the typical release. So you'll hear alternate versions, rare versions, live versions of songs that you've known and loved for years, which brings a whole new, sound to the show. And I'm happy to say people seem to love it. I'm still on the air after all these years, and I'm hoping to add more stations soon. And I hear from people wherever I go who know the name, who know the show, and it's about the Beatles more than about me. I'm happy and lucky to be able to add commentary to all the songs, to add stories, backstories that people might not know. And then I've had the ability through the years to interview them. I've interviewed Paul many times. I was invited to a private dinner with him once, which was fascinating and fun. Interviewed George, and I've interviewed Ringo many times. And he's such a great guy. And when you grow up with idols, like you were saying, Don, you're a huge fan of J.J. Abrams, and if you ever met these people, and if they were rude or if they didn't want to talk to you, it certainly would be a huge disappointment. But I will tell you, from interviewing 3 of the 4 Beatles, because John was gone by the time I started in radio in '81, each of them were so kind and generous with their time, and they asked me questions about me, and it just made it all perfect. If someone was rude, I would have been devastated, but all of them are just nice guys, and when you talk to them, they're just regular guys who just happen to be such talented people and so accomplished in their lives. And so, yeah, I'm on the air today, 10 a.m. to noon on Seacoast Oldies. This is seacoastoldies.com. You can hear it from anywhere where you are. And today we celebrate Paul's birthday, which was yesterday. And so it's 2 full hours of Paul. And I also throw in some interesting audio. We'll play a little segment of when Paul was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, some funny stuff we try to drop in as well. So today will be a great show celebrating Paul on his 80th birthday, which was yesterday.
So you'd be probably throwing some solo stuff in too, and some Wings and some Beatles, and Even he worked with Michael Jackson. He's worked with everybody. So that
Worked with everyone, and my collection of vinyl and CDs and digital tracks. I mean, I have a huge collection of audio at my disposal. So yeah, you hear things that you've never heard before. And I was at a show last night, as I said earlier, where a listener came up and was very complimentary about my show and what I've done, and the thing he said was, I hear things I've never heard before. I sit there and I go, how can I have not heard this before? Where are these songs coming from? Well, it's from years of collecting, and so I have amassed a significant collection of music and audio.
yeah.
In addition to memorabilia, I have a pretty significant collection of Beatles memorabilia, autographs, photos, all kinds of different things. So it started, for me, a lifelong passion. I'm a first-generation Beatles fan. I watched them on the Ed Sullivan Show in February of 1964. And for me, I was lucky, Don and Joey. By the time I was 8 or 9 years old, I knew I wanted to be a DJ because I would listen to WRKO, I would listen to BZ, and I'd hear the DJs interviewing the Beatles. And I'd think to myself, I want to meet these guys, I want to interview them. And here's a way to do that. I could become a disc jockey. And so my first job was at the Cambridge Public Library in 1969, 68. And I would read about how to be a DJ, how to read commercials, how to pursue my dream. And then the 70s came along, and I discovered WBCN and people like Charles Lacquadera. And in the early 70s, I said, okay, my goal is to get a job at WBCN. And about 10 years later, in 81, I wrote a letter to Charles Lacquadera. They called me. I volunteered for a year answering phones. And in 1982, November of 82, I was hired. And I never left radio. And so I was lucky at a young age to realize what I wanted to do in life, because I know a lot of people in their 20s still are trying to figure out their course of life. So I was blessed, and I'm not alone. Many people's careers were determined by their love of the Beatles, whether it's in photography, fashion, music. So I was blessed to realize what I wanted to do. And I sit here and I look at my life, and I'm amazed that I did what I set out to do. I've interviewed them, I've met them, I have pictures with them, and I'm able to bring, some happiness to people's lives every week. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, because if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's true. And like I said, it's just growing up, through my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, just being the backdrop of your show it's an institution. I mean, I know you were back to back with Carter Allen doing the blues too, I think, at some point. So I listened to both shows. So I mean, I always was tuned in on Sunday mornings to ZLX to hear both shows.
Last night, he said, I would listen to your show, and I'd listen to the Sunday Morning Blues with Carter. And those are great years. I don't have a problem with any of those years. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
But I changed stations to
Yep.
WUMB, which affords me such great latitude to do whatever I want to do during my show.
Right.
And so it's a joy to be able to do this every week.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a labor of love. And you have we got a commercial. What's the deal here?
2 minutes.
Now?
2 minutes commercial.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a quick question. You gotta take a commercial, and then we're going to come back and we'll finish up. You have a event coming up on Thursday. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because me and Joey are really excited to come.
Well, we're excited to have you there. What I've done is I've partnered up with a dear friend I've known for years. His name is Eric Towers. He is a Beatles film archivist. I've known him for 40 plus years. And he collects Beatles films. If you went to see the Beatles at Shea Stadium and you brought a little camera, whether it's a still camera or maybe it was an 8mm camera, he seeks out these films all over the world at auction or however they come to him. And he's amassed this huge collection of film that are so extraordinary that even Apple Records loves him. They've hired him. He worked with Peter Jackson on Get Back. He worked with Ron Howard on the 8 Days a Week film. There's a new John Lennon Lost Weekend movie. He worked on that. And so he's very well known all over the world in the upper echelon of Beatle collectors. So Eric and I joined together and we created these stage shows where we come in, we show films, clips, concert clips, and we talk about them and we weave them into an evening of entertainment. And we've done George Harrison shows, John Lennon shows, Beatles in America shows, and right now we are celebrating Paul's birthday with a show called Maybe I'm Amazed, a Paul McCartney 80th birthday celebration. We were in Rhode Island at the Odeon Theater in East Greenwich on Friday night. We had a great show. Friday before, we were in Connecticut at the Palace Theater, and people loved the clips. They'd never seen them. People are amazed at what we show. And so we have another show this Thursday night. It's at the Regent Theater in Arlington, and it's going to be a fantastic evening of rare Paul McCartney films as a Beatle and solo artist, and we're happy that you, Don and Joey, are coming. And tickets are available at regenttheater.com, or you can walk up that night and grab tickets at the door. It's an 8 o'clock show. It's 2+ hours. Eric and I are on stage, and we show these film clips, and I think you'll be amazed at what we have. And home movies and all kinds of different things. So it's this Thursday night at the Regent Theater in Arlington, Massachusetts. Maybe I'm Amazed, a Paul McCartney 80th birthday celebration, and we invite everybody to come. We'd love to bring the show to Middleboro at some point, or this area out here. And you never know, we just might do that at some point. But the Regent believed in our show in very early stages of what we were doing. They took a chance with us, and we've been doing them there ever since. It's considered our home base, and so we're grateful to the Regent believing in us, and the show has taken off, and we're really lucky and blessed to be able to do this, and fans, they love it, so we're happy about that.
I'm not sure, but a good place for Middleboro would be, because it has an outdoor and indoor venue. I mean, there's the Soul Homestead. I mean, maybe it might be too small, but that's a really good spot, because they do have offer indoor and outdoor, and Joey's done some filming there.
Another good spot is the Town Hall Ballroom. It's a pretty big size there.
Yeah.
That's another great option as well.
Yeah.
So there's some good options in Middleboro to have an event like that, for sure.
And I don't think many people know you live in Middleboro too. I mean, it's just that'd be huge too, because hometown hero in a way. It's just somebody who's made it well in the entertainment industry, in the radio business, and is part of our community, part of Middleboro, and that's kind of an honor, in my opinion.
All right, it's.
All right, we got to do an ad. We got to pay some bills.
We're gonna pay some bills, yes, and
then we'll wrap it up.
We'll wrap it up real quick when we come back here on Middleboro in Review. Today is the 19th of June, 2022. It's still a little cloudy and rainy out there, but it's all right. All right, we'll be right back.
I wasn't supposed to do this.
What?
Chris would kill me.
What? What?
What happened? I brought the drink over to the console. I'm supposed to do that. Firing squad.
I have.
No,
in
but
front
I
of
mean,
Chris.
if you ever spilled it,
well, yeah.
it'd be a nice.
I make sure I don't spill
Yeah,
it.
look at the stain on the floor. I mean, this coffee can wreak havoc.
Okay. Okay, I need to
but-
do my commercials now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hurry up with those.
All right. Get those commercials, and then that will be good to go. 63. Turn that down a little.
You know, Chachi. Still on?
Yep.
Yeah, you know Portsmouth, New Hampshire? They have a Ronnie James Dio Day there, I think. He was born in
They do.
Portsmouth.
I didn't understand you. I'm sorry.
They have a Ronnie James Dio Day. Ronnie James Dio. Yeah, he was born in Portsmouth, like years ago.
That's funny. I have a picture somewhere in my collection of me with Ronnie James.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got his start in doo-wop type music in the early 60s. He was in a couple of bands in the early 60s that were really good.
What are the name of the bands? Ronnie and the Red Caps?
Ronnie and the Red Caps, and there was one or two other ones that he was in. He had, I think there was a sizable hit in the 60s, early 60s, called An Angel Is Missing. It's fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, I met him years ago. Into the radio station.
Did he? Was he solo? Was he with Sabbath? Or who was he with? You remember when you met him?
Solo. Yeah, he's solo.
Was he? Yeah. I've seen him. I'm a big Sabbath guy. We both are. Love Black Sabbath. And all the different lineups kind of got crazy over the years. But yeah, he's actually my favorite vocalist in the whole world. It's just, he does, with Rainbow, Richie Blackmore. But, he ended his career with Sabbath, they call it Heaven and Hell, but it was technically Sabbath, that lineup. So, but I never met him. But I heard he's like one of the nicest guys, because he'd come out to sign autographs, and he was just one of those people who was really genuine and nice.
Yeah, very nice guy.
Richie Blackmore, not so much. That's what he said.
I never met Richie, but
Yeah.
I met Ronnie.
You ever meet Iommi or any of those guys from Sabbath? Butler?
No, I have not.
No.
No, I have not.
Okay, ready to wrap this up, Joe?
Yeah. Alright, here we go. Let me put your mic back up. There we go. And we are back as I turn down the music there and turn down everything else here and get that going. Alright, we're back here with Chachi.
You're fiddling with your 70s knobs over there, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We're back with Chachi LaPret. We just got about 3 minutes here left. I want to do a quick little fun fact here. George Martin, he's done several different producing for several different bands. He's done a couple of America albums, and he's done a album with a band that me and Don know very well. The band is called UFO. The album is called No Place to Run. Came out in 1980. So that is a little bit of a fun little tidbit for that. So Don, any last minute questions?
Yeah, Chachi. What are the other bands? I mean, 3 minutes, right? 2 minutes.
3 minutes,
Tough
yeah.
time to ask him that. What is like your second favorite, third favorite, fourth favorite as far as ultimate bands in your opinion? I know your passion is the Beatles.
I'm a big R&B guy. I love Stevie Wonder. I love, bands like Roxy Music, Elvis Costello. I have a pretty diverse taste, and certainly Tony Bennett has been a dear friend for 40 years. So I love Tony, and so my musical tastes range. I do love 70s R&B. I grew up in the 60s and 70s, so that's where my musical tastes lie. And it's always good to be on the show with you. And I do want to just plug my website, breakfastwiththebeatles.com, for all the Beatle-related things that we do. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the Regent Theater on Thursday night. And I want to see you and say hello to you when you get there. And but it's always a pleasure to be on the show with the both both of you, and it's great to meet you, Joey, an up-and-coming radio DJ. It's really exciting.
I'm so proud of him. To watch this in real time, it's just like is remarkable for me to watch it and just be part of it. And he'd never. What's up, Joey?
Start that again.
Okay.
I had your mic down to cut down a little bit of
turn my mic down.
cut down a little bit of a static.
No, but to watch him in real time and to have him part of it, and he wants me here too. It's not like I don't want Dad here. Oh my God. So, oh, thank you very much. But no, it's a real honor. It's a privilege to have you on, to take the time. It's just you're another one of those nice people who will sign autographs and take the time for the people who, it's just like a lot of people don't do this. 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You still got cobwebs in,
It is my pleasure, and I hope next time I'm in the studio with you guys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I love being on the radio at any hour, and it was a pleasure to be with you. And now I'm heading out to New Hampshire for my show, and it's Breakfast with the Beatles. We start at 10 a.m. for 2 hours. Today we celebrate Paul McCartney's birthday, and it'll be all Paul as a Beatle. So outtakes, lots of different tracks, and you can hear the show at seacoastoldies.com starting at 10 a.m. I appreciate letting me give my show a plug, and it's always a pleasure to be on the show with you guys. And I love to be living in Middleboro. It's a fantastic place.
Soundtrack of my life, in a way. Breakfast with the Beatles. So that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chachi, for calling in today.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure. I'll see you on Thursday night. Joey will talk later in the week and tell you how you can get your tickets, and we look forward to having you there.
Okay, thank you so much, Chachi. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Okay, Don, enjoy your day, and make sure Joey gives you lots of Father's Day gifts. And
an attitude of grief, I'll be that. But have a good show today. We'll be listening.
Okay, you guys. Pleasure to be here. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and that is our show for today. It's 8:01, and we're gonna go to the next program, which is Bread of Life. Today's program is Kept from Falling, so that will be coming up just after the news. So stay tuned, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.